Parity. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group,
Century Ply, Club Prime,
PolicyBazaar.com and Sera.
Good evening and welcome. The Hijab row is back. In Congress-ruled Karnataka, a 9th November circular stated that headgear would be banned from the examination hall. But after a few fuming statements from the India Alliance partners like Omar Abdullah, the circular access today says that students will be allowed. So the Congress government has decided that henceforth students will be allowed and should be allowed to wear hijabs during exams. Now, the rationale given is that the dress code for students should not cover the mouth or ears of the students so that no cheating happens through the usage of Bluetooth devices. But by that logic, should hijabs be allowed given that they cover the ear and the head? Or are hijabs being made the exception to the examination dress code in a Congress-ruled state? And is there politics behind it? Is there appeasement behind it? Is the specific U-turn in the circular another form of not just appeasement but assertion? An assertive vocal support that comes alongside the Karnataka minister tape going viral, saying that he allegedly worked deeply in sync with minority leaders to swing it for the Congress during the election. Is the special dress code appeasement the latest antic in a series of appeasement politics by the Congress? If it is quid pro quo in return for the minority vote in Karnataka, then where does that leave the majority? It all goes back into the loop of what Manmohan Singh said, that minorities should have the first claim over resources. And as a secular electorate going into 2024, do we want our policy decisions from schools to the economy to be based on religion and caste? Is that secularism, ladies and gentlemen? Let's debate that. Debate number one tonight. The hijab row is back. The hijab polarization making a comeback in Congress-ruled Karnataka. And debate number two this evening, viewers. The Murko ke Sardar comment has just gone absolutely viral. The Murko comment goes viral. That's at 10 p.m. tonight. And it's heading towards war between Afghanistan and Pakistan. That's my assessment. We have Afghan-Pak debate at 10:30 p.m. And here are the headlines this Wednesday evening on the debate tonight. Hijab controversy truly and totally back in Karnataka as the Congress brings circular over dress code in the exam. After protests from Muslim groups, Congress does a U-turn allowing the hijab to be worn at examination centers. BJP slams the Congress Karnataka government for appeasement, calls for a uniform dress code at educational institutions. Face off over the Murko ke Sardar comment gets bigger. Rahul Gandhi sulks over the comment at the election campaign. As Pakistan goes after Afghan refugees, the Taliban cautions Pakistan on humanitarian grounds. And operating in the heart of Gaza, Israel gathers more and more evidence against the Hamas to show the world. And ladies and gentlemen, the Congress has bowed down to pressure from its allies and some religious groups to bend the dress code at the examination centers. They have allowed hijabs to be worn during examinations, and the BJP has called this move nothing but open appeasement. Therefore, the hijab polarization is back. Let's debate.
The hijab controversy has made a comeback in the state of Karnataka. The controversy started with a circular dated November 9th that said no head covers would be allowed at examination centers. 6 days later, changes were made in this circular. The new instructions said that there would be no ban on hijabs.
The Karnataka Congress government now seems to be in a sort of a fix over the dress code during the Karnataka examinations, which has now already been announced by the KEA. Now, there has been a massive twist, turns, U-turns, as well as appeasement politics, which are being levelled against the Karnataka Congress too. And as soon as Omar Abdullah as well as Asaduddin Owaisi started slamming the Karnataka Congress for banning the hijab during the Karnataka examinations,
Congress ally and India Alliance leader has slammed the Congress over the hijab controversy.
इतनी हिम्मत है मुझे कि इंडिया अलायंस में रह के मैं कांग्रेस के बारे में कुछ कह सकूं। बच्चियों के साथ तो ये कर्नाटका में पहली बार नहीं हुआ है और हुकूमत ने कहा ये सिर्फ हिजाब के बारे में नहीं है। ठीक है, नहीं है। सरदार बच्चे क्या करेंगे? क्या उनकी पगड़ी उतारोगे आप इलेक्शन ये एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर में अंदर जाने के से पहले? हमने किसी पार्टी को निशाना नहीं बनाया, हम उस ऑर्डर के खिलाफ।
While the BJP has said that Congress's decision to allow hijab at exam centers is part of appeasement politics.
Naturally, Congress always wants to appease one or other particular community. As usual, this is doing with Congress.
Last year, hijab issue was kept burning in educational institutions in Karnataka. Is there an attempt to once again polarize using the hijab issue? Let's debate.
So there was some confusion over it, and then the Congress party clarified. First thing which comes to my mind is who is in power in Karnataka? Is it Omar Abdullah or the Congress? Because one word from Omar Abdullah and everything changed. Rashmi, wasn't this seen to be inevitable after the Congress came back to power? Wasn't this seen to be inevitable?
Well, it was inevitable given the kind of appeasement politics they played to begin with to get into power. But I think the irony is that, the Karnataka Education Authority, the Examination Authority kind of gave in the circular and then the roundabout happened. So that kind of showed the hypocrisy. So the hypocrisy is out there for the world to see that this is just an appeasement move and that logically it makes absolutely no sense to allow people with any kind of covering in this day and age of technology into examination halls. It is just a matter of principle that exams are supposed to be held impartially, where people have no access whatsoever to any piece of technology with which they can cheat, or any kind of an apparatus that allows them to impersonate someone. It is basic. It is as basic as that. It is not about my religion, your religion. And unfortunately, religion is being shoved into educational campuses where secularism is supposed to be upheld, and these differential practices are brought in, and it is unfortunate that
where is the
even
differentiation? I want to understand where you're making a claim here. You're making a claim here, Rashmi, that differential treatment for people from differential religions. Where is the differential treatment? Can you just explain that?
Well, Arnab, I don't know if you were following the news, but Hindu women were asked to take off their Mangal Sutra even during, before stepping into examination halls, because it was considered some kind of a, danger, and, that they could hide something, some kind of an apparatus in it. And here we're talking about a full headgear. So this is the kind of hypocrisy we are talking about how, if it's convenient for a political party to appease a particular community, then they'll let anything happen. Anything, literally. And I think that's so unfortunate that there is differential treatment between religions, that there is a specific targeting of certain identities. That is very unfortunate. Coming from Karnataka, this was the last thing I was expecting, but I think it's inevitable given where the state is going, and things are only to get worse.
But the latest information is that Karnataka has allowed the Mangal Sutra to be worn. But I find it bizarre that these are the debates that are happening these days. I mean, Syed Abbas, is this just an open attempt at appeasement? Why are these circulars doing the rounds about what should wear or not be allowed to wear during an examination? I mean, is this the nature of the debate? I mean, is the Karnataka government going to use even examinations for political appeasement?
I would certainly say it is an appeasement, but there is no appeasement whatsoever, and I'll tell you why. Pradhan Mantri Modi ji has always said, "Beti padhao, beti bachao." अगर बेटी को पढ़ाना है तो काम के लिए भेजना होगा. These are recruitment exams, Arnab, for the board and corporations. Now coming to this, it's very interesting how Rashmi speaks of the circular very selectively. If you read the circular, Rashmi, completely, you will also understand those students who will enter the exam premises wearing the hijab will be frisked thoroughly. They need to attend 1 hour prior to the exam or they will not be allowed. They will be frisked completely so that there is no Bluetooth device found. Caps, scarves not allowed. Hijab is allowed only on the condition.
But why these special arrangements need to be made at all? Why do these special arrangements need to be made?
Okay,
If I
will
may-
answer. Allow me. Ma'am, I did not interfere when you spoke. Allow me my full time. Now, Arnab asked me why such special treatment. Why, Arnab? A hijab-wearing woman will not be allowed to work at Republic TV network? Why shouldn't a hijab-wearing woman be allowed to work or attend exams? What is your problem with hijab? Let me ask the BJP people. Let me ask
But why
Shazia
is an
Ilmizi.
insistence
What
on
is your
hijab
problem
in the
with
first
hijab?
place?
There is a FIFA international team wearing hijab. You still have a problem with that? I believe my daughter, if she chooses
My
to wear
problem
hijab,
with hijab
or not,
is your
she has
insistence
every
on
right
it.
to write every exam.
My problem,
So therefore,
yeah, my problem with
Madam,
hijab
wait for
is your
turn.
insistence on
Shazia
it.
ji, wait for your turn, ma'am.
That
I
is
will
my
not speak
problem
to you
with
when you
hijab.
speak. Please,
My
wait for
problem
your
with
turn.
hijab
Thank
is a
you.
lack of choice
Wait for your
it gives
turn,
to young
ma'am.
girls
Do not speak. The question
to
is
carry
to me. Allow me
themselves.
to answer it
And my
fully.
problem with
Ma'am,
hijab is
Shazia
what's
ji,
going on in
the problem
Iran
with
right
you
now
is, see,
when women
I
are
have
trying
no
to give
problem
up
that you
hijab.
wear
And
hijab or
people,
not. But
yeah,
who
can I
said
come
that
in,
there's a
please?
lack of choice?
I want to come in.
You believe that hijab-wearing women should not be allowed to attend exam. You believe hijab-wearing women should not go for work.
You said
What is your
Beti
problem with the
Bachao
hijab-wearing woman?
Padhao and
if she
hijab
wears
in the
a
same
hijab
breath. I
on
think
her
that reeks
choice,
of misogyny.
what is
I
your
think it's
problem if a
misogynistic.
hijab-wearing
Your
woman wants
insistence
to write
on
exam,
hijab
wants to go to
is
school, wants to go to
misogynistic.
college,
That a woman
wants to go
ought
to
to
university?
cover herself
Syed
for
Abbas,
giving
1
exam.
minute. Syed Abbas.
That is
Syed Abbas,
problematic.
Mr. Abbas, 1 minute. Mr. Abbas, why is it? See, I'm looking at differential responses. Why is it that as it is reported, on the 6th of November, there was a lady candidate who was taking part in the Karnataka Public Service Commission exam. She was told, remove your Mangal Sutra before you enter the examination hall.
I will
So that is where I see double standards. Why was she told to remove her Mangal Sutra?
answer that, Arnab. Arnab,
Why was she told to remove her Mangal Sutra? I want, no, 1 minute. I want someone else to take that. Lubna,
allow me to answer, Arnab. I will answer in 10
Asif,
seconds.
why
Let
was
me
a
tell
Hindu
you.
woman asked to remove her Mangal Sutra?
Okay, I will answer that.
Why?
I will answer that.
How is a Mangal Sutra dangerous?
Same as hijab?
How is a Mangal Sutra dangerous in a Congress rule state?
Same as hijab? Is it same
No,
as
but
hijab?
why was she asked to remove a Mangal
Is it same as
Sutra?
hijab?
But why was she asked to
I
remove a
ask her to
Mangal
remove?
Sutra?
Come on now, you should ask the authorities, not me.
No, but why
Not
was she?
me.
Was that right?
And please let me
Was
make
that
it very
right?
clear.
Lubna,
Let me
look
make it
beyond the
very
religious
clear that
prism.
we
Was
do
it
not
right to
need-
ask a lady
Muslim
candidate
women do
to
not
remove a
need
Mangal Sutra
sympathizers.
during a public service
Muslim
commission
women
examination?
Are free to choose. The lady who was speaking previously.
So Hindu women
let
are
me
also
please
free to
tell
choose.
her that we
Why
do
was
not need
a Hindu
sympathizers. We are
woman?
absolutely-
Why was a
we are
Hindu woman
absolutely
asked to
free
remove her
choose.
Mangal Sutra?
You think someone forced me to wear a hijab?
Why was a Hindu woman
You
asked to
think I
remove
can
her
be
Mangal
forced?
Sutra?
You think I can be brainwashed into wearing
What
hijab?
is happening in Congress rule states
Just
nowadays?
tell me, do you think I can be brainwashed?
I am asking you.
Now this is just ridiculous.
One
This
minute,
is
just 1 minute. Who's going
this
first?
is
I want
going
Shazia
nowhere.
to come in first.
This
Lubna.
is not going anywhere.
Lubna.
No.
Lubna, the question is, how did the matter become an issue? You see, first of all, why was a Hindu woman asked to remove her Mangal Sutra
Because you are pulling it.
in a Congress
like
rule
anything.
state?
Mangal Sutra
Because-
is not
So
same as hijab. A
let's-
student
let's-
should be frisked.
Instead of, can I come
They
in,
should be
please?
checked.
I would like
a
to.
Mangal Sutra can have a Bluetooth device.
So, I do not want to be.
Acha, Mangal Sutra is
no, this is
dangerous. A
only part
Mangal
of the
Sutra in a
entire
Congress
matter.
rule
Can I
state
come
can
in,
be
please?
seen to have a Bluetooth device.
Dangerous? Did I say dangerous?
Shazia.
Did I say dangerous? Yes. There are Mangal Sutras as heavy as pendants, large pendants. It can have
Arnab, I would like to have
device, yes.
I would like to have a
But
sane
how
conversation
if you thoroughly
engagement
check a person
with the
how will they
panelists on
carry
this issue if
inside
it's possible.
hijab?
You know, can I come in, please?
Yes, tell me.
I just want to make a point, a brief point.
Yes, Shazia.
I don't want to be frothing at the mouth like some of the panelists will at this point of time, because this becomes about the religious practice, so to speak, and about the minorities and the right to freedom of expression. I think it's anything
It's
but
not
that.
just about
the whole
religious
idea, the
practice.
whole insistence
It's about
that
freedom
pehle
to choose.
hijab or phir be quiet, ma'am. Show some manners. No, do not speak in the middle. Let me finish. You can write down your point. You can, if you can't retain it, write it down, and you can come back to me later. I will make the point, and I do not wish to be interrupted by somebody like
whatever
you.
you want.
So be quiet, ma'am, for a
Please be
minute.
sensible.
Can you be quiet, ma'am? Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet? Okay, you speak. Then after you're done, I will speak. Show some decency and some decorum in this discussion, and let's have a sane discussion on this. So the High Court, Karnataka High Court, Arnab, can I come in, please, without this woman shrieking in my ear like a banshee? Can I just say what I want to say? Because I have a very different point of view. This insistence on pehle hijab, phir kitab is exactly what will drive Muslim women into an abyss of despair and lack of education. Something that is suffering from, which is not anywhere else, which is not there with other communities. And I think this is just a plot for some of these men and women who are as devious can be, to prevent women from better access, for not just gender equity, for access to schools, institutions, employment services, because their insistence is on hijab. It should be pehle kitab and phir kitab. Quran talks about ikra. Ikra means to ponder.
There's nothing like that,
As for hijab, it has been established that it is not an essential religious practice. It is not an essential religious practice, as demagogues like Lubna and the likes are making it out to be. While Lubna chooses it, many women do not. And it is the worst kind of self-effacement for a woman.
Oh my God.
And I think it is such a disabler. It is not an enabler in a woman's life. And I speak against it. My mother wore it all her life. Every woman in my family wore it. And I think I'm not for it. I think it's a terror. No, not everybody is capable of screaming, shouting and frothing at the mouth like you. And using it politically.
Absolutely.
It is not a political device.
Absolutely.
Hijab. Stop weaponizing it for politics. For electoral gains. I will not allow you.
Yes.
It is a very sad disabler, which works against, that's what I'm talking about. And that is what is used against Muslim girls and women. And it is sad that people who know very well that is not part of religious practice, essential practice, insisting upon it because of their pathetic and disdainful electoral needs. And to treat Muslim women as just fodder yet again. It works for Lubna, it doesn't work for most women. And it is the worst kind of
there has to be a
defacement and self-defacement. So let me finish.
Lubna.
So you are totally, in Iran, Arnab, in Iran, women are giving it up and they're being killed for it. They're fighting, and here the fake secularists are insisting upon it. Can you imagine? There was a time in Aligarh Muslim University, there would only be 5% of women who would actually wear the hijab. But now the only 5% of women who actually
is not a secular and democratic country. If you have a love towards
and whether it's Kerala,
Iran, please go ahead and start your life over there.
They have made it about
Don't
hijab.
come and
it is not about hijab. They are throwing women in the abyss of despair and darkness. And I think women should not fall prey. And men, educated men, religious men, should not fall in the prey. This is not about politics. This is about a woman's right to live her life as she wants to, as ordained by the Quran and Indian Constitution. So I totally challenge the pleas and the petition made by Lubna, who I will not call learned, who is just using hijab as a means of political weaponization against the girls of the community. It does not help them. It is not an enabler in any way. And I think it should be done away with. That Omar Abdullah would not wish it upon his sisters,
I really don't know.
upon his wife.
I really don't know why this... I really cannot understand why the Congress party has decided to make this a big issue once again. I can completely understand the fact that they feel beholden.
No, it is you. It is
to
you
carry out
who's
some kind of
doing that.
appeasement. They may have made some promises
It is you
during
who's
the
doing
election.
that, Arnab.
But this matter,
I will not
this
allow
matter,
women
Lubna,
like
has
you
been
to
dealt with by the
brainwash other
courts.
younger women of the
Proportion
community.
Is what you have been doing.
How cleverly you using burqa or the veil to disallow women from a better life of light, education,
This is quite
opportunity
amusing.
and equity.
Whatever this
I
lady
will
is
not have
saying,
women like you,
it's
devious
so
and evil
amusing.
women like you
She thinks
come in the
that
way of
women
that.
like me
I feel
are
very
being
strongly
forced.
about it. There are young girls out there, Arnab, I know about it. I come from Kanpur. I come from an area called Chamanganj. And I come from an area called Chamanganj. And I can just tell you what it is for young girls out there. And if they do not wear the burqa, it is not a choice. Their families are ridiculed. They are ridiculed. They are considered bad women who will burn in the fires of hell. This is what they tell them. And they're shamed. They're shamed into wearing a burqa. And I will not allow women like you to drag my little sisters and daughters into this abyss of darkness.
I don't know what the Congress government in Karnataka is doing. Asif,
I have patients from
Chamanganj.
Muslim patients.
I
have lot of Muslim patients from Chamanganj not wearing hijab, not wearing veil, not wearing burqa.
I like to reply
I do not know what
to
this
this.
women are
I'm sorry, I live in that area.
The Nagpur
Do not
script.
talk nonsense. Do not talk
Allow me to
nonsense.
reply.
No, all of them wear
Madam,
burqas.
I do not live in that area. I do not need to live in that area. But I have lot of patients
Do not
from
talk
there.
rubbish. Lubna, I'm from that area.
I have lot of
There are many
patients.
such
I
areas.
have a lot of Muslim
There are many
patients
such
from
areas
there.
like that, where women are shamed. I have a young girl who comes to me. You know what she does? Because she has to step out of Selampur. She covers herself because she has to get out of the area, and then she dons a regular. She removes the shawl and the burqa she wears, and then she goes to work because she says my family will be ridiculed and shamed. It is not a matter of choice. She is barely 20 and she wants a better life for herself. And that is what's going on with many women. That is my subject.
Banning that will
so
help.
do not talk rubbish, Lubna. You chose to wear it. No, everybody does not choose it. And it is not an essential practice of Islam. It is not an essential practice of... My problem is not BJP or Congress. My problem is not Hindus or Muslim. My essential concern is my young sisters out there, our young daughters out there, who you are misguiding in that path and weaponizing burqa or veil as a political tool. I will not allow you to do it, Lubna. You are way out of line. It's not in consonance with the Constitution or the Quran. Both. You're wrong. You're on the wrong side of both. As for hijab or the veil, it predates even Islam. And there were communities, because it was mandated to be so, who would wear it. And do you know how hijab came to be?
So amusing.
Do you know what Quran says on it? So you've been misguiding people all along. And I want to tell Muslim girls out there, it is not an essential practice.
I'm a student
you
from
can say no to it.
London.
And if they try to pressurize you and shame you, don't go for it.
You need to teach me about Quran and
You need to go out, wear your hair, show your hair, show your face, your countenance, and enjoy the sun and the wind and the skies. Go out there, defy these people, defy these demagogues who work against your interests and your light. Don't let these dark forces come between you and your light. I tell my Muslim sisters and brethren out there, do not allow these demagogues to allow this darkness, this veil of darkness to prevail.
Now, Asif, I want a situation where even in Congress rule states, all citizens are treated equally. So my question is, if an exception is made to accommodate the hijab, then why is it a trend to equally make Hindus the exception when it comes to a crackdown? I go back to the case. Is it or is it not a fact that a lady candidate / candidates appearing for the Karnataka Public Service Commission exam were specifically told to remove their Mangal Sutra before entering the exam hall? Obviously, as an intelligent person, I will draw a link between two things. Hindu women on 6th of November are told, remove your Mangal Sutra, which every married Hindu woman wears with pride, right? Which is also, not really a danger. It's not a firearm, okay? But she's told, take off your Mangal Sutra. In the same state, a clarification is given that don't worry, even though the hijab is a form of headgear and covers the head, you can wear the hijab. You understand? A chain worn on the neck of married Hindu women and girl students who are wearing ornaments, including earring, chain and rings, they were told to remove it. And is it not a fact that one of the students who were asked to remove their Mangal Sutra said, one of the students, allow me to complete, one of the students who was told to remove her Mangal Sutra said, and I quote from a report, that the authorities also checked women who wore a hijab but allowed them in. So is this not double standards? And I continue on the point of double standards. The Congress says the ghungat, the practice of ghungat must be eradicated. Congress Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot says that time has changed. People must realize the practice of ghungat. Ghungat pehna galat hai. And he says, why should a woman be confined by wearing a ghungat? So a ghungat confines a woman, but a hijab liberates a woman. Congress says women cannot progress till they remove their ghungat. Congress says through Ashok Gehlot, women cannot progress if there is a ghungat. Now my question is, why is the logic of a ghungat not applied in the context of the hijab? Is this country equal for all or not?
Arnab, देखिए,
the question of parity is what I'm arguing about. Asif, one law, one attitude for ghungat, one attitude for Mangal Sutra, one for hijab. This is not right. This is ये गलत है, ये गलत बात है.
Right. ठीक है, मुझे बता, रिप्लाई तो करने दे आप, इसका जवाब मैं दूंगा आपको. सुनिए आप, देखिए, मंगलसूत्र को भी रोकना गलत है, हिजाब से भी लोगों को तकलीफ है, और किसी को शर्वानी के अंदर खाकी चड्डी दिख रही है आजकल, टोपी पहनने वाले से नफरत है, हलाल से नफरत है, कई मॉब लिंचिंग से. आज देखिए, ये लोग को एक आम इंसान को समझना चाहिए, ये पूरा एक पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. देखिए, सुनिए, अरे आप देखिए, मेरी बात तो खत्म करनी है. देखिए, ये पूरा पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड है. ये देखिए ना, बल्कि देखिए कोई नहीं, किसी को जरूरत ही नहीं है, कोई रोक भी नहीं सकता है हिजाब पहनने से. कोई रुका नहीं सकता है. और कोई मंगलसूत्र, देखिए, उन्हें अगर कोई तकलीफ है तो दे कैन इंस्टॉल द जैमर्स ओवर देयर. आज टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी बढ़ गई है, उसका इस्तेमाल करिए. आप ये सिर्फ एक जो सो वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स की जा रही है, हमेशा बीजेपी आरएसएस को लगी होती है कि कहीं ना कहीं मुसलमानों को टारगेट करे. सुनिए, देखिए, मेरी बात सुनिए ना, हिजाब किसी को रोकने की, अरे मैडम देखिए, आप मेरी बात समझ नहीं सकते हैं तो आप अपना नागपुर का बड़बड़ करिए यहाँ बैठ के. समझ रहे हैं आप कहने अगर थोड़ी सी अकल बंद है तो मेरी बात पूरी सुनिए. आप पहले
ऐश्वर्या, आसिफ जी, आपने जिस तरह से बात अपनी ओपन की, उस पर बहुत हमारे जो पैनलिस्ट है वो ऑब्जेक्ट कर रहे हैं. आप उनकी बात सुन लीजिए. ऐश्वर्या, would you like to contradict him there? What is your specific objection? You can tell Asif before we move on. क्योंकि सारे पैनलिस्ट जो है, रश्मि, ऐश्वर्या, शाजिया ने ऑब्जेक्शन रेज किया. आपने जिस तरह से अपनी बात रखी, तो उनकी बात भी सुन लीजिए प्लीज.
ठीक है, मैं उसका जवाब दूंगा. सुनिए आप.
नहीं, पहले वो उनकी बात सुन लीजिए. पहले उनकी बात सुन लीजिए. देखिए, डिसएग्री कीजिए, मगर ये कह रहे हैं बात
रहा हूं ना. देखिए, वो कोई गलत इसमें ले रहे हैं.
नहीं, ये कुछ कहना चाहते हैं. इनकी बात तो सुन लीजिए.
गलत कंटेक्स्ट में ले रहे हैं.
इनकी बात सुन लीजिए पहले, फिर क्लैरिटी दीजिए.
सुनिए,
आप इनकी बात सुनिए.
रिसेंटली ने कहा है कि शर्वानी में खाकी निकर पहन के फिर रहा है कोई शर्वानी के अंदर. ठीक है, तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, कब तक हिजाब से, शर्वानी से, टोपी से कब तक तकलीफ होगी है, मुझे बताइए आप. कब तक होगी है? नहीं, कभी आप कब तक मुसलमानों को टारगेट किया जाएगा? आप हमेशा देखिए, तो आप
बात करने का ढंग सीखिए पहले,
मेरी बात सुनिए. पहले मैं तो वही समझा रहा हूँ. अरे आप पहले आप समझने का ढंग लाइए। आपने देखिए
आप बोलते रहोगे और हम लोग सुनते यहाँ पे।
नहीं किसी ने तो आपने नहीं सुना है क्या? हमेशा क्यों मुसलमानों को टारगेट किया जाता है? क्यों कैसा बोल सकते हैं शर्वानी में खाकी नक्कर पहनकर फिर रहे बोलकर? क्यों तकलीफ क्या चीज की है? क्यों हमेशा क्या मुसलमानों से तकलीफ है क्या? हिजाब से, टोपी से, शर्वानी से यही चीज की तकलीफ होती है क्या? बताइए आप मुझे।
आप ढंग से बात करना
ऐश्वर्या को जवाब दे रहे हैं। ऐश्वर्या प्लीज, ऐश्वर्या वर्सेस this is
so
yeah,
sir,
please, Aishwarya, yeah.
So you're claiming to be a victim. You're claiming to be a victim of hatred. Let me add to something Arnab had already mentioned previously. On 6 November, as he said, at the Karnataka State Public Service Commission exam, Hindu women were asked to remove not only Mangal Sutra but also their touring. So unlike what Lubna thinks, where Mangal Sutra is something where people can hide, you know, the maybe chits or something in the exam or have Bluetooth in the Mangal Sutra, that is something that can't happen. Maybe Lubna, you need to first know about Mangal Sutra before talking about it on national television, right? Touring, something as tiny as touring was also banned, right? 16th October 2023, the Telangana State Public Service Commission preliminary exam. Hindu women were asked to remove Mangal Sutra.
What is funny about it, Lubna? Lubna, why are you smiling at that if it is a fact? 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
It's her ignorance.
I don't find this acceptable. You see what happened? No. First, let me make a point. Aishwarya, just give me a moment. 1 minute. Aishwarya and Lubna, give me a moment, please. Give me a moment. Lubna, give me a moment. Lubna, give me a moment. Give me a moment. No, give me a moment, Lubna, please. You see what my problem is here? When it comes to Muslim sensitivities, we all care, we are sensitive, we are empathetic, and we are responsive. We are not contemptuous. We deal with the matter with utmost respect, as was apparent in the Nupur Sharma case. However, my problem is when there are Hindu sensitivities which come into play. And when somebody speaks about, Aishwarya is raising, she's saying, I don't know about the authenticity of this, but there must be something to it. She says, why are women asked to remove their toe rings?
It can be any piece of jewelry.
That is a question
not just Mangal Sutra.
So similarly,
No, it's not a question. No, 1 minute, Lubna, let me complete. When she says, why are women asked to remove their toe rings? And that's a very relevant question, right? I don't expect you to start sniggering. You too as a woman must say how humiliating it must be for a woman to be made to go through that. How humiliating, just because if the woman is a Hindu woman doesn't mean you laugh.
I find it absolutely okay to strip
equally, Aishwarya would object if a Muslim woman were to be made to go through a humiliating experience.
I don't see a problem.
That's where we need empathy.
Muslim women entering with their head cover, they should be thoroughly frisked. They should not be allowed until and unless they are properly
The point is, why did you snigger? Why did you snigger when Aishwarya raised the question of women being asked to remove ornaments? Why did you snigger?
See, common sense may not be always
you find it funny?
Very common.
That is why you lack common sense. You are the biggest example of what you are saying, Lubna. Yes, you do.
I am a teacher. I am a teacher, and I have found so many jewelries carrying these kind of things. Have you ever been?
So similarly, you can carry by that logic. If you
have you been
Lubna. Okay, let's come to the point. You are saying that people can carry this stuff in India. No, Lubna, let me complete. I heard you not once but twice. Let me complete. You are saying. So why? So you want similar? You are saying that people can carry this in Mangal Sutra or toe ring, but you can't carry it in hijab. Am I right? You are saying women in hijab are being frisked. These are pieces of jewelry, right? Similarly, Lubna, if you were actually a qualified teacher, Lubna, if you were a qualified teacher, you would have known. Okay,
be it Mangal Sutra or be it anything else. Even Muslim women wear a lot of lockets and things like that, taweez or something. It should be removed. Because it can
should be
definitely
removed,
carry
right?
something.
Now hear me. Now hear me on 2
some Bluetooth
points.
device or something
Lubna,
like
now
that.
hear me. I
Or
heard
some
you.
even
I
chips.
heard you.
Lubna,
I
hear
heard
the
you,
other
Lubna,
side.
now 2 points.
Lubna, she's countering you.
No,
Similar-
let me
the
just
circular,
explain how
which is a pretty-
confusing was that. I mean,
Arnab, how am I supposed to complete with this woman talking complete nonsense without even giving me a breather?
Go ahead, please.
The first thing is, if you're talking about being a victim in India, etc., you should know Saudi Arabia, where you have your Mecca, you have your Medina.
I'm not talking like
they
that.
have
I'm
banned
not talking.
headscarves where you have banned headscarves. They have also banned headscarves. First, the notification that Karnataka Examination Authority released was pretty standard. All the examinations in India expect you to not wear any piece of jewelry, right? That's why there was no significant. So unlike the outrage that happened when you talk about hijab, there was no outrage that happened when Mangal Sutra was removed. It was brought to the attention, but no BJP, no RSS spoke about it. Nobody wanted to talk about it because they were fine. They said, okay, that's a part of the examination notification, right? Now, if something that's there in the examination notification, it is pretty standard, removing headscarves. That's not something that KEA has exclusively or thought of it novelly. It's pretty standard. You look at any examination, and Lubna, if you were qualified, you would have known that any examination expects you to not have these headscarves because the intent is to ensure that you cannot carry a device or anything that can facilitate you cheating in the exam, right?
No,
and these
no.
are, unfortunately, the easiest means to cheat.
No, the question being, there is an element of discretion going on here, right? And it will now be argued, you see, the Congress has done this interestingly. They have allowed the hijab now, and now, in order to appear equal, Syed Abbas, they said, chalo, Mangal Sutra also allowed. What is this? There's no logic to it. If the entire argument is that you don't want to allow headgear, then my question would be, why are hijabs an exception? Why are hijabs the exception? The old notice dated 9th November said that any garment covering the head is not allowed. The notice dated 14th November says permission for hijab continues. The old notice said the garment should not cover the mouth and the ear also. The notice dated 14th November says permission for hijab continues. My question is, does the hijab cover the ear? Does the hijab cover the head? If it does, then why is there an exception being made for the hijab? Either you say we allow all headgear, but don't define. No. Either you say we will allow all headgear. No problem. But you're making a very, very specific exception.
You can keep your
My
ears
question
open
is,
by
why
wearing
are
a
exceptions
hijab.
being made?
I will answer that.
Why are, no.
Ma'am,
One minute. Why are exceptions being made? In a Congress rule state, why are exceptions being made?
Thank you, Arnab, for the question. I did not interrupt any of the panelists.
why is Umar Abdullah calling the shots?
Ma'am, it's my turn to speak. I did not interrupt you. I know you have great level of decency and you allow me to speak. Thank you very much, Shazia ji. Coming straight to your point, Arnab, you've raised the question that why hijab is such an exception and why should we allow hijab? If hijab is allowed, why not allow cap and scarves? Brilliant question, Arnab. I stand with you on this. And let me tell you my answer. My answer is that very selectively, Arnab, you read the circular, the first circular which came in the first week of November and the second circular which came in the second week of November. Did you also read, Arnab, in the same circular, it is mentioned those hijab-wearing students will be thoroughly frisked for 1 hour before they need to attend the exam. Only then will be allowed. If they do not come on time, they will be not allowed to enter the
difference
examination.
between the one minute. The difference, I don't understand. Are you entering an examination hall, or are you going through security at the airport? I mean, what are you talking about? My question is, okay, tomorrow I have metal detectors, screening devices, bugging machines, everything. I'm sorry. My question is, 1 minute, just 1 minute. The only difference between the first order and the second order, Mr. Syed Abbas, was that All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin President Asaduddin Owaisi and Omar Abdullah made it an issue. Congress thought, oh my God, we are going to lose the Muslim vote.
Yes.
Let's immediately allow it.
30 seconds, my friend. Allow me 30 seconds. Arnab, there is a huge problem with
this is just like what happened in
Am I wrong?
Mano case.
Allow me. Shazia it's my
Is
turn. 30
Asaduddin
seconds,
Owaisi
I'll
the
hear
Chief
you.
Minister of
absolutely
Karnataka?
30 seconds.
Arnab.
Arnab, 30 seconds.
Is Owaisi the Chief Minister of
And I'm here,
Karnataka?
Allow me 30
No,
seconds.
but it's
Arnab,
about
you
the vote
can't let go.
bank.
Arnab, 30
It is
seconds.
about the vote
Shazia
bank
ji,
and
Shazia
regressive
ji, 30
practices.
seconds.
Who is in power? Owaisi or Omar Abdullah?
No, you've done it. You said your bit.
Arnab,
It
you
is
need to
about
give me time.
Arnab. It's very
Arnab,
simple.
you need to give me my
It's
time.
about the
30
regressive,
seconds.
the
Shazia ji,
regressive
30
social
seconds I will
customs,
hear you, ma'am.
the need for reform in the
Respectfully, I'll hear you.
community,
Allow me
and
30
the
seconds.
pathetic
So the point is
vote
here,
bank
Arnab,
politics
Arnab, the
that
fact of the
eclipses
matter,
it all.
I come from
That
the
is
land
all
of
there is to
Karnataka.
it.
I'm a
And that is
proud
what makes me
Indian
very
and I'm a
sad,
proud
because I'm
Kannadiga.
looking at the
The
deeper
problem of
issue.
BJP
I'm
is
actually
the
looking
mandate
at the
of
welfare
Karnataka
and
was a
well-being
slap
of the
across the
girls
face of BJP
in the community
because of their
who
communal
deserve
politics.
a better
They were against
deal
halal,
after so
hijab,
many years.
azan,
India gives them
loudspeaker,
that.
Muslim
Even the
reservation,
Quran gives
so
them
on, so
that.
forth.
But
Now, let me
these
tell you,
people out
Shazia
there
ji,
will not give
you
them
do
that.
not wear a hijab,
Which is
ma'am.
why I need to
respect
call
you.
them out.
It
It
is
is
your
a
choice.
deeper issue,
But do you know
a
that
bigger issue.
in the US, there is an international
And that
court
is
judge
what
wearing
I'm
a
calling
hijab.
out
There is a
right
FIFA
now.
international
Please understand
women's
where I'm
football
coming
team wearing
from.
a hijab. There are high-flying international pilots who are wearing
Are you
hijab.
repeating
The problem
yourself?
is when I respect your
What
choice
rubbish is
of
this?
not
You're
wearing a
repeating
hijab,
yourself. You
mind
don't even have a
ma'am,
point to make.
please respect the choice of
Be
your
hilarious.
Somebody who's
Have
educated
some
like
sensitivity.
who wears a
You know,
hijab.
towards what you're saying and
Stop this.
understanding
It's about
of the subject.
exams.
Stop this duplicity. Stop this double standards. Stop this hypocrisy. There is a
It's
judge who
not
wears a
about-
hijab. There's a FIFA team who wears a hijab. There is a court
No, you
judge.
know, precious
high-flying
little,
pilot.
Sayed. You
There is an
keep
entrepreneur
blabbering.
wearing a hijab. What is your problem? When I respect
This
your choice of
breathless
not wearing a
frothing at the
hijab,
mouth doesn't help,
you should
you know.
respect my sisters who wear a hijab. It is their choice like it is your choice. So stop preaching. Stop all this preaching, all right? And those women who wear hijab by their choice, you have no right to impose your dirty politics on them, all right?
Yeah, we all know how much
If there is a
pro-choice
woman
it is,
who wants to work in
and
the
what
network,
kind of a social
would you
construct
accept
there
her
is,
for a
and it is only
You
it is
can't
only
cheat
a
in
politics.
FIFA by
It is
wearing a
only a
hijab.
pathetic politics that is eclipsing the lives of these women, and that is my problem with it. You know you're lying. You know women don't have a choice. Young girls do not have a choice. You know that. They do it only because everyone else around them does it. This foisted farman of hijab is just a way to eclipse their lives. You also know there is something not all right about it. Women in Iran are fighting. In Saudi Arabia, it has been made non-mandatory.
This is hilarious.
But look at these people. They want to drag women right to the bottom of the pit of darkness is where you want to take women and say, oh, it's their choice. Come on. It's nobody's choice. You know better than that.
Hilarious.
You know better than that. You know, in your heart of hearts, that you're just doing politics with
Oh my God.
with women's bodies, with the need to grow, to step out in the light. You're coming in the way.
What do you
and it
think?
is not mandated in Quran.
Okay, we have
Can use common
Upasana. We have
sense.
Upasana
Sometimes
who puts it
But you
out
still use
on,
it. You still
on the
can make
Motorola
use of
moment.
some
She
common
says we are
sense.
tired of the selective sensitivity of the Congress party. Enough is enough, it says. Right? Vijay Nakasi says is the politics of polarization the nation's secular policy. Couple of questions coming in out here. Very important here, you know, at the end of the day, I want a very different answer here. My question would be, appropriately today, Aishwarya, my question to Lubna would be, I really want to know what Lubna thinks of the women who have been killed in Iran for defying the hijab. I really want, do you also want to know, Aishwarya, what she thinks about them? Whether they were fighting for the right,
to know because
whether
she
they
has,
deserve to be killed.
Yes,
Arnab, that's
You can elaborate on
agree,
that, then
Arnab.
we'll get an answer
Lubna
from
made
you.
a very
Aishwarya.
interesting point.
Aishwarya is elaborating. Aishwarya is elaborating on
Lubna
that.
made a very
Has the
interesting
choice
point,
to remove
which
or
is
wear hijab
that if there is a choice,
one minute,
Lubna,
listen to
why are
Aishwarya.
women being killed in
They are
Iran?
free to do so.
Lubna, if there is a choice, why are women being killed in Iran?
It's an Islamic state. That is why.
But you say there is a choice.
Forcing the women,
You say
but
that there
it's
is a
wrong,
choice. If there is a
absolutely.
choice, they should not be
It is
killed.
absolutely wrong, and I support Iranian women as much as I support the Indian women. If they want to remove hijab, it is absolutely their choice, and they should be free to do so.
You're being very selective when
And
you
if
say you
Indian
support
women
Indian
want to
women,
wear
especially
it,
when
it
you
is absolutely his choice.
started the debate by saying that Mangal Sutra can be a device, a dangerous device. And then you're saying you defend Indian women. So just so you know,
Yeah,
Indian women also means
wearing
Hindu
a
women.
hijab, you
Their
can
right
keep
to
your
wear
ears
their
open.
ornaments.
You can be thoroughly,
Right?
you can be thoroughly frisked. You can be thoroughly checked and frisked. You can keep your ears open, and you can be thoroughly checked, scanned to see if you are.
Why should there be a different? Why should there be a different
I
rule?
don't know why is that
I want to
hijab is such a big
understand
threat?
that.
Why should there be a special? Why should there be a special provision for women wearing hijab?
Carrying.
Why should there be a special provision of risking for wearing hijab?
You said, Lubna.
Why they are
You said,
scanners?
Lubna.
Lubna, there are scanners. There are scanners for dresses also.
You just said that the women, who took on. You said the women who were killed in Iran were killed because they took off the hijab in an Islamic state. Can you elaborate on that? I'm very curious to understand this logic. You said they were killed because it's an Islamic
I
state.
would just want to
explain to me
state
again.
that I support those women. It is absolutely their choice to remove the hijab.
How
That's
convenient
it.
is that?
And
How
no
you
one
support
is there
those
to
women?
teach
But
and
why
now
were they
here you
killed?
How to
insist that
live.
women must wear
But
why
hijab.
were they
not
killed?
How
Muslims.
convenient is that?
But why
How
were they killed?
convenient is
Why
that,
were they
Arnab?
killed?
Do you see?
Why were they
Do you see
killed?
the hypocrisy in this?
Why were they killed? Aishwarya and Shazia, I'm asking her again.
Arnab, it started
Why
with
were they
men.
killed is my question.
It's hardly a choice,
Aishwarya, she's
Arnab, when
avoiding
the-
that question.
No, that's
my question.
Arnab, I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by the hypocrisy of these
Just
people
watch.
when it comes to Mahsa Amini, the young Iranian girl who was killed brutally, and many of her sisters in Iran. They spoke. What do they say? We are with them. Here they insist on hijab being an important part of religious practice and the preservation of rights of those women who want to wear, knowing very well that
It's
it's not
about
as easy as that.
the right to freedom,
And the insistence
dear.
on hijab.
It's not about
because
hijab.
this was about pehle hijab.
It's not about
phir
hijab.
kitab.
You might
It is
not have
pehle
heard
kitab,
about-
aakhri mein
You
kitab,
might
aur
not
sirf
have
kitab.
heard about this term,
and,
the right
and
to
burqa
freedom,
comes in
but
the
let
way
me
of
tell you
that.
what is it.
Again you're speaking. Again you have no. You know, you have lost this whole argument by your convenient arguments, by your cleverness, because you try
I'm
to be too
completely
clever by
okay
how.
with what
You know
you
very
trying
well
to say.
that is not
Lubna
such a
is
simple
being
answer.
very. Lubna,
I'm saying
No,
Lubna is
I'm
trying to
saying
write.
very well, that is not as
Lubna
easy
is
as that.
trying to be on both
Hilarious.
boards.
May I
This
come in
is
for
so
a moment?
hilarious. She does not know
1 minute.
what right
A
to have.
22-year-old,
Very convenient.
a 22-year-old,
Very convenient.
a 22-year-old
Very
called
convenient.
Mahsa Amini
Mahsa
was
Amini.
killed in Iran, and I'm asking Lubna today, why was she killed? And she says because it's an Islamic state. Is that some kind of a justification I heard? It's an Islamic state. She should have known better. That's the kind
No,
of...
not at all.
Mahsa
Not at
Amini
all.
should
It's
not have
completely wrong.
questioned...
I'm totally against it.
No. Why did you say
And
because it's an
Indian
Islamic
women
state?
should
No.
support
Why did you
Iranian
say
women if
because
they
it's an
want.
Islamic state? No. Why did you say? Why did you say because
they
it's an
have been
Islamic
imposing
state?
all those kind of rules and regulations in the name of Islam, but that doesn't mean they are right.
No.
It's a
I asked you why was she
tyrannical
killed? You said
It's a
because it's an
tyrannical
Islamic
state.
state.
They have been doing that, not just on women. They are imposing.
No.
They have been imposing all of
No.
these kind of
I'm
things.
asking you.
Since a
One
very
minute.
long time.
Just
So it's
watch
not
it.
just
Look
about
at you,
hijab,
Aishwarya,
it's not just
justified.
about
They do it to
hijab.
everybody. Oh my God.
Justify.
Yes, it is about all those people, men and
Justify
women
how?
who
How
spoke
come?
against the hijab.
I'm talking
you know very
about
little, Lubna,
the right
about anything
to
that's going
freedom.
on in your country and in
Lubna,
another.
you need to decide.
You might not have
Complete
heard of
rubbish.
this, but there's something called right to freedom which exists and which lets a
You are
person
utterly
to
confused.
choose
Can I come in,
whatever
Arnab?
they want.
Exactly.
The manner in which they want
No, you
to
can't.
There is
dress.
no right to choose here. You know very
Yeah.
well. this is
Lubna,
very
you
little about
can't
choice.
be riding
It's
on
a
both.
societal
Arnab, can I come in,
diktat
please?
which governs the lives of women. You also know very well. So don't lie.
It's about
You don't
right
lie.
to
Lubna,
freedom.
is
It is a societal
Lubna,
diktat.
you are
I
also
want
saying-
to wear hijab or I want
There
to
is no
wear
right
a
to
mini
choose
skirt.
here.
It
That is
should
now
be
not-
absolutely
Lubna, either
my
it is
choice.
an
Nonsense.
essential practice or
That is
it is
complete
a matter
nonsense.
of freedom.
Girls below the age of 18, when they're forced to wear hijabs, they do it because of
Even
societal
I just want to
pressure.
say that
essential
the-
Not because of a right to choose.
no one
You
has
also
the
know
right
better
to
than that, okay? So
The
don't
Congress,
act.
the Congress
Don't
party,
pretend and act.
Even if
Everybody
it is
knows.
an essential
It's a
the Congress
practice.
party is in some kind of a,
mandated.
the Congress party is in some kind of a race with the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin. Personally, I think that's not the right way to go.
No, it's a sharp
Politically-
deja vu moment.
Obviously, there's going to be an
Yeah.
impact of this kind of a sharp position they are taking. Ladies and gentlemen, the very, very straightforward comment of the Prime Minister yesterday, Murkho ke Sardar comment, has gone viral. Why did it go viral? Why did so many people respond to it? Ladies and gentlemen, and which side are you on? In a few minutes.